Hi, this is Mr. Pence from TapCritic.com, and today we're going to take a look at iPad 1 versus iPad 2. Just got this iPad 2 on launch day. These are both 16 gig models, and they're both Wi-Fi. The iPad 1 is running 4.3, and obviously the iPad 2 is. The only thing I have in the background is the settings. These are both running at full brightness. Battery level here on this one's at 56%, this one's at 97%. But I just want to show you the speed differences between the iPad 1 and iPad 2. And what we'll do first is we'll do some Safari tests. So I'm going to launch Safari here. And as you can see, iPad 2 is done. iPad 1 is still loading here. Okay, and iPad 1 is now finished. Now let's try a news site like CNN and see how these fare on that. And here we go. I'm going to hit go now. And the iPad 2 is fast. iPad 2 is done. iPad 1 is still loading. So there's definitely a speed increase on the iPad 2. Let's go to MSNBC. That's always sort of a load-heavy website as far as a news site goes. And see which one works on that. Let's go here. And here we go. And they're both sort of, iPad 2 and iPad 1 are both sort of sitting here. It looks like sort of maybe, iPad 2 is done. iPad 1, pretty darn the same there. Let's scroll and see how the scroll looks. A little bit of a hiccuping there on the iPad 1. Let's go to abcnews.com. That's another one that's sort of, I know there's an app for that, but let's see how the web page loads. And here we go, abcnews.com, and bam. And it looks like iPad 2 is done. iPad 1 is done. So there is a speed difference. Some websites load a lot faster. Some, just a little bit of difference. Where I noticed, once again, a little bit of difference. And we're just going to keep Safari loaded here on both of these. Let's try Rock Band Reloaded and see how fast these load. And here we go. So it looks like the iPad 2 loaded a little faster, but let's try this again. I might have clicked the iPad 2 just a little bit earlier. So let's close this out again, and let's close this out again, and just see if I can hit both of these at the same time. I think I did, but let's just double check. And here we go. 1, 2, bam. So it looks like the iPad 2 is a little bit faster on that. Of course, you don't know if, we're using both cores or not. Where I really noticed a big difference was I downloaded GarageBand for both the iPad 1 and iPad 2. And when I was changing instruments, there was definitely, this is a lot snappier. And so let's load GarageBand here real quick. And I'm going to hit both these at the same time. As you can see, this one's already loaded. And now the iPad 1 is loaded. I'm going to go back to instruments here. And we'll do this here in a second. You can see, I'm going to scroll through here. This is really fluid. If I go through here, it's a little bit jerky. Nothing crazy. One let's go to where, notice the real slow down. We'll go back to the smart guitar here. Click this. See, this is still loading. Once it's loaded, it's great. Let's change our guitar here. Let's go to hard rock, and I'll show you. Bam. This is already loaded. Just a little bit slower. Let's go back to instruments. And let's go to the drums. This is already loaded. So, there is a little bit, twice as fast. It could be. I don't know. I mean, that was pretty much the same there. Let's go back to instruments. And let's go to smart bass. Definitely takes longer to load the samples. You can definitely tell that. So that's that. I also loaded Real Racing 2 HD, and I'm going to do a review on that later today. And I hear that Real Racing 2 HD is sort of unplayable on the iPad, that it's really optimized for iPad 2. I've just downloaded this. I haven't even launched it yet, so this will be a good test as well. So I'm going to launch Real Racing 2 HD on both the iPad 1 and the iPad 2. And here we go. Yeah, this hasn't even loaded yet. Check it out. So I'm going to tap both of these and see if we can exit. There we go. I can definitely tell some detail stuff already just by looking in the ground here. Like I said, I'll do a review on this later this afternoon. But that's it. This is sort of just a quick speed test. The iPad 2 is definitely faster. Don't know if a lot of these apps are optimized for the dual core. I don't know even how that works. So I think when we see more apps coming out, we'll definitely see a huge difference. Like I said, I can definitely see a difference when I go to Safari. It's not crazy difference. You can definitely tell because this has already been cached. Look at that. That's been cached in there. This has to reload. That's the one thing I hated about the iPad 1, and one of the reasons why I used Atomic Web, because the cache would have to clear on the iPad 1 so much. Let's try USA Today, just one last little test. And USA, and I know there's an app for that too, but and here we go. Okay, so let's continue directly to the website. Yeah, it's already loaded. This is still loading. So iPad 2, pretty awesome. It's fast. Can't wait to see some apps that use the camera. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this is just wanted to show you, guys and gals, the speed differences between the iPad 1 and the iPad 2. This has been Mr. Pence from TapCritic.com, and I'll see you soon.